Hi everyone, it's Nicole and I'm here with another December daily video. And one thing that I'm doing almost every day is I'm taking about an hour and I'm cutting through some of our digital prints that I have printed out. And when I showed you the stuff that I was using for December daily, I totally skipped it over an entire file of our digital prints. And I thought there was quite a bit of stuff missing, but I ended up going to look for it because I was like, wait a second, there's supposed to be hollies, and then there's the little deer with the masks and, all these gifts and all this stuff. So I ended up finding them. And then this day, what I ended up doing was, and I wanted to make some of those little pockets using the page protectors, the baseball cards. So you'll see that at the end. But what I ended up doing was taking about an hour and cutting up some of our digital prints. So we have a whole bunch for Christmas, and I have so many ideas for new ones for this year. So I took about an hour and I just cut up a whole bunch, and that's what I'm doing every day. The first thing that I do when I go upstairs is I grab a few sheets and I cut apart a few of the digital prints. I put on an audiobook. Right now I'm listening to the second book in the All Souls trilogy, which is the first one was A Discovery of Witches, and the second one is Shadow of Night. And I'm also watching the TV show, and it's on Sundance, and Sundance had a special where it was 99 cents a month, and I've been wanting to see that series. There's supposed to be 3 seasons of that book series forever, but of course I want to read the books first. So because of that special and the time of year, because I started reading A Discovery of Witches in October, so all this spooky stuff, I started reading that book. So it's perfect. That's the perfect thing to do. I find that watching a TV show is kind of difficult because you kind of have to look at what you're doing, but listening to an audiobook is the perfect thing to do while you're cutting up a whole bunch of embellishments. Now, that little sheet that you just saw there, that's as I'm doing this and listening to the audiobook, I was kind of brainstorming on the different things that I want Josh to draw for the Christmas season. So by just taking about an hour every day, it makes it so that I'm going to get a whole bunch of these embellishments pre-cut and have them in my stash. So when I'm actually doing the pages, I don't have to worry about, cutting these apart because they'll just be done. So then my pages can come together fairly quickly. And it's relaxing. I really enjoy cutting things out. I just leave a thin white border all the way around, and then it looks like a sticker, or a die cut, which is what they are. This is part of the prep work, but it's something that even if I just do a little bit every day, I seem to cut enough that when I'm making my pages, I have quite a bit of different things to choose from. Plus, I don't cut like a whole sheet out of something because then that would take me a little too long. But by, just cutting a few of each, then I'm going to get a nice variety. Okay, so here are the baseball cards. So the whole purpose of this was because I wanted to get 9 of those done. So you'll see I'll be using all of these. So the 2 on either side is very easy because I cut on basically on the outside. So I have 3 sides that are already sort of glued together, and then I just need to finish the top. So I don't want my embellishments, well, in this case, I didn't want my embellishments to flop around. So I'm going to use some double-sided tape to glue them down, and then I'm going to end up putting some sequins in all of the little pockets. And this is perfect because sequins is not something that I end up using a lot of, but by doing these, I'm making it so I'm using some of my sequins. And this is another thing that if it's not done ahead of time, while I'm making the pages, I'm not going to stop and get some of these done. So I figured I got 9 done, so that, you know, it's almost a third of all the pages that I can put them on. But if I find that I use them all or that I want to make a few more, I can just dedicate again like a half hour or an hour and just make some of these again. So the ones in the middle, they're quite a bit smaller because I ended up cutting on either side, and there's only one side that is glued down, but I'm still going to end up using them because I have a fuse tool and I'm just going to make my own little borders, and I just didn't want to throw these out. I wanted to be able to use them. So I'm going to end up getting, like I said, 9 of those little pockets. Now those page protectors, I ended up getting them at the dollar store, and I paid $1.25 for like 10 sheets. And I think I bought 5 packages, so I'm gonna have a ton of it. So I just took out my fuse tool and I'm kind of gluing everything down. Now, one thing I do is after I have it fused and I have, you know, the sequence in there, I shake it around because sometimes I don't go quite straight, so I might miss some stuff. Now, one thing I'm doing is, you see the mat on my table, I'm putting down the page protector somewhere where I can follow one of the blue lines in order that I can go as straight as I possibly can. I don't always go very straight, but at least it helps. Okay, so now my little pockets are all done, and I'm going to slow down the video just, well, a little bit, just so that you can see each of the little pockets, and then I will use them in my December daily. And then I also end up having a lot of the die cuts already pre-cut. Now, if you don't have a fuse tool, what you could do is kind of do the same thing, but at the very top, what you could do is use your sewing machine and sew the top of that little page protector. But I found with the fuse tool, it's so much faster, and then it also looks like the rest of them, because that's basically what they use to make these page protectors. They use some kind of fuse tool to kind of finish those off. So I'm just going to take all those little die cuts and I put them in my little tray where I keep all the embellishments. But that's it. That's going to complete this video, and I want to thank you so much for watching. Bye.